If you are the average person, if you are a normie, this is the Bronco to buy. I'll include a link to the Ford and Park Cities website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood is a turbo 2.3 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 10-speed. Fuel economy is 18 around town, 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 300 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Mirrors fixed on the body, so you can take off the doors instead of mirrors, and this has the hood decal too. Got your little tie-down points here as well on the front. Even the more baseline Broncos still have good headlights, blacked out grille with the white Bronco logo. No fog lights, but we do have recovery points. So far, cool looking vehicle. Tire and wheel setup is 265 by 70 by 17 all-terrain tires, so it has a little bit more of a rugged appearance, but you're still going to get good fuel economy, and these are going to be inexpensive to replace. Got these nice chunky fender flares, Big Bend logo there on the side. And this one has the black painted top, so it looks a bit more premium. Here's the side profile, and you can see again with the tire and wheel setup, it is cool looking. This does lead us to the key fob where we've got our lock and unlock function, remote start, Bronco logo there on the back. Now one downside with this package is the baseline taillights. But anyways, you got the normal swing gates with the hydraulic assist. We got 12 volt in the back lights and a good amount of cargo space because this is the 4-door version. Looks like this has the rear table setup too. And I will say, with that smaller spare, very light. Parking sensors in the rear, we've got a recovery point, and we do have a full-size spare there on the back. So although this doesn't look as crazy as a Sasquatch package, again with the all-terrain tires, it does have a nice off-roader appearance. Let's pop inside. Got a nice soft touch trim here on the door panel, and then you've got that tan coloration up above. I do like the seats here with the contrast between the black and the tan. Legroom here in the rear is good. We have a storage pocket. We've got automatic window controls to the rear, vents as well. And it looks like you got top insulation back here. And then here's a view of the front from the rear. We do have keyless entry up front. More of that soft touch trim. We've got the netting down below. This does also come with blind spot monitoring. 1,141 pounds of payload capacity. More of that nice cloth trim. Both the driver and passenger seat are manual with the adjustment. Got this nice Bronco grab handle, and we've got our light controls just down below. Start her up. Of course, Bronco logo front and center on the steering wheel with soft touch trim all around. Practical controls here on the side with your voice command controls for the center stack. On the left side, got your cruise control and volume controls. Full digital gauge cluster here in the center, so even though, again, more baseline, you've got a very customizable center stack. And speaking of customizable, you also have a bunch of different drive modes for both on-road and off-road use here with the Bronco. Giant screen, so we've got a big backup camera in reverse, good resolution. And then as for the infotainment system itself, shortcut bar here at the bottom, it's quick to respond. You've got this side tab which you can use to dive into different menus as well. Got a little USB port there on the dash. This does come with trail turn assist, stability control, and then you've got your hazard light button there. No diff locks or anything. We've got analog controls for the radio, climate, dual zone climate with heated seats. Got a couple USB ports, and then you got this nice little Ford logo that kind of looks like the Bronco with the little bolts there. Shifter for the 10-speed with your manual function. Just behind it is your drive mode select. On top of the drive mode is the drive line select. This is just a part-time 4-wheel drive system, but it does have off-road cruise control. All of your window controls here in the center, all of them are automatic, by the way. Center console, nice trim on the top. Also forgot to mention your mirror adjustments are actually there in the center too. And we got more top insulation up front. So a lot of glare, but this is a Big Bend, and this basically just has the black top added to it, as well as the all-terrain tires and everything. So, and then also the sand ending. But anyways, $49,300 is the total MSRP. Let's see how it performs. Well, let us set off in this Bronco Big Bend. Now, I feel like I might have misled you guys a little bit because I said there's another Bronco Big Bend that I reviewed, and I said this is the one. But I think that this is actually the one because there are a few options this has that makes it a little bit nicer. And if you're wondering why I'm reviewing so many of the Big Bends, I'm trying to review more affordable cars in general. And so rather than spending, because I used to spend quite a bit of time on the high-end packages, rather than spending a lot of time on those, I'm spending more time with the more affordable packages. So if you guys want to see more of that, let me know. If you don't, also let me know. Also look at the views, right? If people are watching the videos, then I guess they don't care. Now this 4-cylinder is not bad. Here's the deal. It's a weird sound coming from the back. Anyways, other than the weird sound that this is making from the rear, because this does not have the Sasquatch package, this 4-cylinder is more than adequate. Again, these are not huge tires, which the benefit is not super loud with the tire noise. Don't really hear them. Actually hear more wind noise than tire noise. More comfortable, much less expensive to replace. Again, how much off-roading are you gonna be doing? If you're just gonna be doing dirt trails and stuff, this has more than enough capability for that. You don't need to have lockers for most trails that people go on. If you've got 4-wheel drive, which this has, you can go places. So it just depends on how difficult the trails are that you're going on. Like I said, most people don't go on super difficult trails. Yeah, that sound coming from the back. Oh, there's a box back there. I think it's coming from the box. I was gonna say, that was weird. But yeah, I think it's coming from the box. Nope, it's not the box. I know what it is. You guys know that little table I showed you? Yeah, it makes noise. That's what that is. I was gonna say, because it's like a little metal table thing, and so, yeah, it's not the worst thing on the planet, but it is definitely noticeable. Love the independent front suspension on road. Obviously less articulation off-road, but the steering is super sharp in this. And that's the other thing, compared to a Sasquatch, this has much more direct steering, and it just handles better in general on road. So that's why it comes down to, like, how much off-roading you're actually gonna do with your Bronco. Not a lot. This still has a lot of the looks, but way better on-road manners. This is very comfortable. Like, this is, for a Bronco, very daily drivable. The Sasquatch, because you also, another thing, you sit higher so you get even more wind noise. Right, the taller you are, the noisier things get. So there's just a lot of benefits to this version of the Bronco. Again, for daily driving and for, like I said, for most people. Because most people don't do crazy off-roading. So, I take it back with the other, because I've reviewed a few Big Bends. I think I reviewed like a baseline. I reviewed one with the Black Diamond, and then one with the Black Diamond and Sasquatch. I think Black Diamond Sasquatch Big Bend is actually a really cool Bronco, because you get like the big tires, the diff locks and everything. But if you're not, again, if you're not gonna be rock crawling and stuff, if you don't need that, I think this is the, like, the sweet spot. With the all-terrain tires, with the painted black top, because it looks good. It's still under $50,000. It still has enough capability for most people. So, let me know your thoughts.